Welcome to Hold the Leap Inspiration, where we delve into the essence of mental resilience and personal growth. In today's audiobook summary, we explore the traits of mentally strong individuals and how you can cultivate them in your own life. Introduction. Amy Morin spent over a decade as a psychotherapist, guiding clients in recognizing their talents, skills, and support networks. Her approach involved nurturing their strengths to overcome challenges, which proved effective. However, her perspective shifted drastically after enduring personal tragedies. Losing 3 loved ones within a decade, Morin found herself trapped in a relentless cycle of grief, impeding her healing journey. Amidst this turmoil, she realized that solely focusing on her strengths while neglecting her weaknesses was counterproductive. To truly grow and thrive, she needed to confront and address the negative habits holding her back. Her hardships taught her that even a few bad habits can be significant setbacks halting progress. To achieve your fullest potential, it's crucial to work smarter, not harder. Shed routines and habits that undermine your mental resilience, and familiarize yourself with the 13 behaviors that mentally strong individuals avoid. Chapter 2. Give away their power. How often do you catch yourself saying phrases like, "My boss makes me feel inadequate," or "My mother-in-law drives me crazy"? By attributing your emotions to others, you unwittingly surrender power over your thoughts, feelings, and actions. No one should dictate how you feel. Instead, empower yourself by recognizing that your choices shape your experiences. Avoid expressions such as, "He made me angry," or "I have to work late today." Take ownership of your emotions and decisions by saying, "I choose to stay late." Mentally strong individuals refuse to let others control their thoughts or behaviors. A remarkable example of this resilience is Oprah Winfrey. Despite enduring poverty and repeated sexual abuse in her youth, Winfrey faced adversity head-on. Becoming pregnant at just 14, she suffered the loss of her child shortly after birth. Determined to change her circumstances, Winfrey worked tirelessly and pursued education, eventually landing a job as a TV news anchor. Even then, setbacks loomed as she was fired for being deemed unsuitable for television. Yet Winfrey refused to be defined by others' opinions. Today, she stands as an icon, having created one of the most successful talk shows in history. But what propelled her to such heights? A crucial aspect of emotional mastery is forgiveness. Clinging to anger and resentment only constrains your potential and disrupts your life. Therefore, embracing forgiveness is key to reclaiming control. Similar to how gratitude enhances health, forgiveness yields psychological benefits. Studies show that forgiving others reduces blood pressure and promotes cardiac health. Moreover, those who practice unconditional forgiveness tend to lead longer, more fulfilling lives. Chapter 3. Shy away from change. How do you perceive change? Do you welcome the evolving world, or do you find yourself entrenched in old habits? Your attitude toward change greatly influences your mental resilience. If you consistently make excuses to evade change, you'll likely find your life stagnating, with progress remaining elusive. Instead, it's crucial to embrace change mentally, prepare for its challenges, and commit to it in order to achieve success. An inspiring example of someone who embraced change is Judge Greg Mathis. As a troubled teenager, Mathis frequently found himself in and out of jail. However, when he learned of his mother's terminal illness, he vowed to turn his life around. Upon his release, he secured a job at a local McDonald's and diligently pursued admission to Eastern Michigan University. Despite facing setbacks, including being barred from practicing law due to his criminal record, Mathis refused to be deterred. Instead, he sought alternative ways to serve his community in Detroit. Alongside his wife, he established a nonprofit organization aimed at providing employment opportunities for youth. Eventually, despite his past, Mathis was elected as a judge by the people of Detroit, demonstrating his unwavering belief in the potential for change. Amy Morin emphasizes that once you recognize that your past does not define you, you can navigate through the 5 stages of change. Pre-contemplation. In this initial stage, individuals become aware of the need for change, often through external influences. For instance, a doctor might educate a pre-contemplative patient about the health risks associated with their current lifestyle choices. Contemplation. At this stage, individuals acknowledge the need for change, but may not yet be fully committed. For example, an employee might recognize the risk of job loss due to poor sales performance but hesitates to adopt new sales techniques. Preparation. Here, individuals develop a plan to effect change. For instance, an entrepreneur facing financial difficulties might devise strategies to boost revenue or cut costs. Action. This stage involves implementing the plan developed during preparation. For example, someone committed to losing weight starts exercising and adopts healthier eating habits. Maintenance. Finally, individuals must sustain the changes long-term, anticipating and overcoming potential obstacles. For instance, someone aiming to maintain a healthy lifestyle plans ahead for social events and holidays to avoid indulging in unhealthy foods. By understanding and navigating through these stages, individuals can effectively manage change and realize their full potential. Chapter 4. Focus on things they can't control. Some of us may struggle with a superhero complex, feeling compelled to fix everything ourselves. The belief that things must be done by us to be done correctly is not only unhealthy but also counterproductive. This mindset increases anxiety, damages relationships, and erodes trust. Worrying about matters beyond our control drains energy unnecessarily. It's vital to release the urge to control everything and let go of concerns over events we cannot influence. An exemplary illustration of relinquishing control is Terry Fox's story. Diagnosed with a severe form of bone cancer at 18, Fox faced the amputation of one leg and was given a slim chance of survival. Yet, inspired by a fellow amputee's feat of running the New York Marathon, Fox embarked on his own journey. Following his surgery, Fox began running and completed his first marathon soon after. Determined to make a difference, Fox sought sponsors to support his ambition, running across Canada, covering the equivalent of one marathon daily. Despite having to abandon his journey midway due to his cancer's return, Fox's story continued to inspire, and donations poured in. Although he ultimately lost his battle to cancer, Fox's efforts raised an astonishing $23 million for cancer research. Fox's focus wasn't on events beyond his control. Instead, he directed his energy towards what he could influence, raising funds for charity. Changing one's attitude toward life circumstances not only benefits mental health, but also physical well-being. A 2012 study revealed that individuals who exhibit less controlling behavior tend to lead happier lives and enjoy healthier relationships. Chapter 5. Worry about pleasing everyone. While striving to keep everyone happy may stem from good intentions, excessive people-pleasing can have detrimental effects on one's mental resilience. Those who constantly seek to please others often expend valuable time and energy attempting to control people's feelings, a futile endeavor, as controlling others' emotions is impossible. If you find yourself excessively preoccupied with pleasing everyone, it's essential to prioritize choices aligned with your values, even if they may disappoint or upset others. Consider the case of Angela, as recounted by Morin. Angela endeavored to cater to the preferences of the men she dated by adopting personas that deviated from her authentic self. If a man valued humor, Angela would force jokes. If spontaneity was favored, she'd fabricate tales to appear more spontaneous. In her quest to appear more appealing, Angela lost sight of her true identity. She began prioritizing others' feelings over her own, censoring her thoughts to mirror what she believed others wanted to hear. Living in this manner erodes mental fortitude, whereas embracing the reality that you cannot please everyone fosters strength and cultivates courage to navigate situations where displeasing others may be unavoidable. Chapter 6. Fear taking calculated risks. A prevalent fear among many individuals is the fear of taking risks, whether in business ventures or pursuing dreams, as they perceive the potential downsides to outweigh the benefits. However, simply resigning from a job to follow a passion without careful consideration is insufficient. Major life decisions necessitate thorough deliberation, with risks meticulously evaluated. The prospect of failure looms over such endeavors, and the aftermath of failure can instill lasting apprehension towards taking risks in the future. Hence, it's crucial to learn how to mitigate risks and discern which risks offer worthwhile rewards. To assess risks effectively, one can pose questions such as, what are the potential costs and benefits? How will this decision impact my long-term goals? What alternatives exist? What are the best and worst possible outcomes? How significant will this matter be in 5 years? By methodically recording and reviewing responses to these inquiries, individuals can navigate uncertainties more confidently and make informed decisions. Taking risks need not exclusively pertain to major life choices. Consider the case of renowned psychologist Albert Ellis, who grappled with a fear of rejection, particularly in interactions with women. Upon contemplating the consequences of rejection, Ellis realized that rejection was not as daunting as he had imagined. Consequently, he ventured to engage with women, demonstrating resilience in the face of fear. Each day, Ellis would frequent a local botanical garden and approach women sitting alone. While a portion of these encounters resulted in immediate departures by the women, Ellis persisted in initiating conversations and extending invitations for dates. Although the majority declined, Ellis's outlook shifted. He recognized that the fear of rejection had needlessly constrained him for too long, and the occasional acceptance or rejection held minimal significance in the grand scheme of things. Taking risks and stepping beyond comfort zones fosters mental fortitude. To bolster mental strength, it's imperative to identify and confront inhibiting fears. Often, perceived risks may not be as intimidating as imagined. Additionally, actively engaging in risk-taking behaviors and confronting fears head-on, whether it's overcoming a fear of flying or public speaking, opens avenues for personal growth and expanded horizons. Embrace new opportunities, face fears, and embrace the journey toward building resilience and strength of character. Chapter 7. Dwell on the past. There are various ways people dwell on the past, from ruminating over negative experiences they believe are holding them back to romanticizing the good old days. Both behaviors prevent individuals from fully embracing the present and living life to its fullest. However, one's past doesn't have to dictate their future, as demonstrated by the inspiring story of Winona Ward. Now an activist and social worker, Ward was raised in a small Vermont village where she endured sexual and physical abuse from her father. Despite the trauma, she remained silent about her ordeal and, at 17, married and worked as a truck driver with her husband. While she strived to break free from her past, not all her family members were as fortunate. Later in life, Ward discovered that one of her brothers was perpetuating the cycle of abuse by harming his own children. Determined to make a difference, Ward embarked on a journey of transformation. Returning to university in Vermont, Ward earned a law degree and founded Have Justice Will Travel, a mobile legal service aiding families grappling with domestic abuse issues. Instead of succumbing to her past, Ward leveraged her experiences to learn, grow, and help others break free from similar cycles of violence. Moving forward from the past begins with granting oneself permission to enjoy life despite previous traumas. A traumatic past need not equate to perpetual suffering. Moreover, when confronted with negative memories, it's essential to extract lessons learned from those experiences. Finally, striving to view past situations objectively, forgiving past actions, including forgiving oneself, can alleviate the burden of carrying negative emotions forward. By adopting these steps, individuals can free themselves from the shackles of the past and embrace a brighter, more fulfilling future. Chapter 8. Make the same mistakes. During our formative years, many of us experience embarrassment or reprimand when we make mistakes. Whether it's fumbling a question or bringing home a disappointing grade, we're conditioned to view mistakes as indicators of failure. However, in reality, mistakes present opportunities for growth. A hallmark of mental strength is the ability to learn from mistakes and take proactive measures to avoid repeating them. Consider the inspiring tale of Roland Macy, who in the mid-19th century launched a dry goods store in a quiet Massachusetts town. Facing dwindling foot traffic due to his store's remote location, Macy decided to orchestrate a grand parade to draw attention. Unfortunately, torrential rain marred the parade day, leaving Macy with no attendees and no choice but to shutter his business. Determined not to repeat his misstep, Macy meticulously planned his next venture, a Macy dry goods store in bustling downtown New York. This strategic move proved immensely successful, propelling Macy's into a global retail phenomenon. Today, Macy's annual Thanksgiving Day parade stands as a testament to Macy's resilience and adaptability. By learning from his mistakes, Macy transformed setbacks into opportunities and built one of the world's most renowned department store chains. To prevent recurring errors, Amy Morin advises a thorough study of mistakes. Reflect on what went wrong. Consider how you could have handled the situation differently and strategize for future endeavors. Moreover, it's crucial to acknowledge mistakes and take responsibility. By embracing accountability, you regain control and lay the foundation for cultivating mental resilience and strength. Chapter 9. Resent other people's success. When witnessing a colleague's promotion or a family member's purchase of a house beyond your means, it's natural for feelings of envy to surface. However, while envy may initially seem commonplace, allowing it to fester can breed resentment, diverting your focus from your own path and fostering feelings of inadequacy. Despite its prevalence, envy is far from conducive to a healthy mindset. Instead of succumbing to envy, it's imperative to transcend these feelings and leverage others' success for personal growth. Consider the case of Milton Hershey, whose employee, H.B. Reese, embarked on establishing a rival candy company while still employed at Hershey's chocolate factory. Rather than reacting with bitterness or resentment, Hershey extended his wholehearted support to Reese, even granting him access to Hershey's milk chocolate for his experiments. Through these endeavors, Reese developed the iconic peanut butter cup, enrobed in Hershey's milk chocolate. Rather than viewing each other as adversaries, Hershey and Reese celebrated each other's achievements and capitalized on their respective strengths. Their collaborative approach yielded immense success for both parties, leading to the creation of highly prosperous businesses. Throughout their lives, the two men continued to collaborate, culminating in the eventual merger of their companies following their passing. What emerges from the story of Hershey and Reese is the power of celebrating and embracing others' success. Such attitudes attract like-minded individuals, fostering opportunities for collaboration and sustained success. Chapter 10. Give up after first failure. One of the most prevalent fears people face is the fear of failure. Many will go to great lengths to avoid failure, often shying away from taking risks. However, nearly every tale of success is woven with threads of failure and perseverance. In essence, those who ultimately succeed regard their failures as stepping stones toward improvement. An exemplary illustration of resilience is found in the story of Thomas Edison, widely celebrated as one of history's greatest inventors for his invention of the light bulb. However, Edison's journey was marked by numerous failed inventions, including the electric pen and a ghost machine, endeavors that never saw the light of day. Yet Edison didn't view these setbacks as failures. Rather, he saw them as invaluable learning opportunities, each contributing to his path to eventual success. Research underscores the importance of hard work over innate talent in achieving success. Studies show that individuals who diligently practiced for a decade without relenting surpassed those perceived as naturally talented. This phenomenon held true across various domains, from chess and athletics to music and visual arts. With unwavering dedication and commitment, individuals without apparent talent could ascend to remarkable levels of proficiency and attain global acclaim after 2 decades of relentless effort. Failure is an integral part of the journey toward success and serves as a sign that one is being challenged. To navigate failure effectively, it's essential to craft a plan for learning from setbacks and avoiding their repetition. Additionally, embracing the inevitability of failure and normalizing its occurrence can diminish its daunting nature, fostering resilience and perseverance in the face of adversity. By cultivating a mindset that welcomes failure as a catalyst for growth, individuals can persistently pursue their goals and ultimately achieve success.